Welcome to Vitamin B with Mohana. This is where we help you take control of your well-being. I'm delighted to introduce my guest today, who's Dr. Rasya Dixit. She's a cosmetologist, she's a dermatologist, and everything about skin that you can imagine.
Almost 40% of my OPD is men.
Korean glass skin or the 10-step skincare method. What's the madness all about?
When you follow a skinfluencer, don't follow trends.
Too many people saying too many things and it's very confusing.
But let's face the reality. Koreans are Koreans and Indians are Indians.
Cosmetic surgeries, only for the wealthy people.
So rosemary in the correct proportions
are all things that's natural ingredients.
Even if there is a dermatologist on Instagram giving advice, it's generic advice. A BD is all natural, right? It's a tobacco leaf. It's rolled up, right? And you smoke it. Is it good for you?
No, it's not. Because your skin is something that's breathing.
If you apply turmeric and go in the sun, it can actually make you tan more.
Try to avoid as many chemicals as possible.
So what you define as organic, what you define as chemical, what is defined as herbal, it's also a chemical.
During COVID, maximum plastic surgeries happen.
You want to put papaya, banana or avocado on your skin, on your hair? Eat it!
What is the difference between a Botox and a filler?
And because of that, younger and younger people are coming in with the frown lines. And as we age further, we lose volume in the sides of the cheeks. A lot of people ask me, is Botox addictive?
So what is this new trend of cool sculpting?
Everybody wants to look very fit, but nobody wants to exercise.
What is the impact of putting on makeup every day?
Very important to wash it off with a double cleanse.
What must do routine for us to take care of our skin?
Male skin has more oil glands, it is thicker.
Once you do it for like even a month, you see the difference, you know.
You know, melasma is a facial pigmentation which is very common in India.
Adult pimples or adult acne, what should people do about that? We're going to be indulging in this space where we'll talk about daily skincare routines, what matters across the seasons, skincare for men, skincare for women, skincare at large, and the latest and greatest trends around skincare and understand it better. So join us in this fascinating, fun-filled conversation about the most important topic called skin. Sit back, relax, and join me at Vitamin B with Mohana. Welcome, Dr. Rasya. It's beautiful to have you here on Vitamin B with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Mona. I feel the same way.
Yeah, that's great. So, Doctor, when we met first, I enjoyed our conversation so much, and it was so inspiring to see, someone who's so broad in your thought process. You're in a space which is so interesting. Cosmetic dermatology is a very, or cosmetology as they call it, right? Is a very interesting space. But also, I think the personality that you have is just exciting to be around, so fun-filled. So thank you for taking time. It's been a pleasure knowing you as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here, Mona. Actually, I am a dermatologist by profession, right? That's what I did first. I did my dermatology degree. And the aesthetic or the cosmetic dermatology field is growing at a very fast pace world across. It's just not here in India, where people are focusing more and more about their overall appearance. When we look at the world over, right? We had the world wars. Now we don't have any more world wars. Then there were many vaccines which have evolved, which have conquered all the infectious diseases. So now the next hurdle was the other diseases like diabetes, hypertension, which to an extent have been controlled as well. So now people have changed their worldview towards how to look young, how to improve the quality of life. And part of how you look actually defines how you feel about yourself. Like when you look a particular way, you feel more confident. So cosmetic dermatology, it comes from there. So the cosmetology, which is basically these people who are not qualified to do dermatology, who will call themselves cosmetologists. Could be like somebody who's from a salon background. But when we talk cosmetic dermatology, or cosmetic dermatologist or aesthetic dermatologist. That's the field I'm in. It's a very new, exciting field to be in, and I am very happy because a lot of people are now open to the idea. People are talking about it. Like for example, before people would just not speak about any of these procedures, or they wouldn't tell anybody who they were going to have this procedure being done. Right. But everything's changed. The world is changing, and I'm very excited to be here.
It is. And like much like anything else, it's a dual-edged sword, right? And we'll talk about it. There's so much good, but then there's so much obsession also about it. So we'll come to that. So let's start, Dr. Rasya, with something that is trending, okay? So I want your views on 3 things. One, let's start with Korean glass skin, or the 10-step skincare method. What's the madness all about?
I think that this is something which most of the youth are obsessed with, the teenagers are obsessed with. I feel that the Korean glass skin trend is something that is the teenagers are obsessed with, and they're forcing their parents, or they're using all their pocket money to buy all the 10 steps. But let's face the reality. Koreans are Koreans and Indians are Indians. And Indian skin type is extremely different from the Korean skin type. And the fact is that their weather is different. They have colder temperature. They are born with thicker skin, smaller pores. So they have a more smoother skin surface. That is why they are able to achieve the Korean skin trend. But even if you use the 10-step skincare here, because it's so humid, and the fact that we have different skin type, we are going to end up with more acne. We are going to end up with more pigmentation. And actually, even if you use 100-step skincare, you will not transform Indian skin into Korean skin. That is as basic as that. And unfortunately, that is the power of Instagram. That is the power of this social media, is that it's convinced all teenagers, not even teenagers, even adults, to believing that a serum, a cream can transform the way you do skin. Whereas skin is the largest organ in our body. It reflects everything that's happening inside. It reflects your good health. It reflects whether you've been exercising. It reflects whether you've been eating right, whether you've been sleeping okay. Is there an underlying metabolic condition? Did you know that diabetes and thyroid could show up on your skin? No, they believe that that bottle, which costs X amount of rupees,
a lot,
that's what I said, is going to fix all their problems. Truth is, serums can't do it. Only a dermatologist can.
Okay, so thanks for sharing that. I think that just busts a lot of myth, right? So let's pick on serums. So what do you think about serums today?
Okay, so serums is another pet peeve of mine. So let me talk about it. When we talk serums, I believe that the serum boom happened during COVID. During COVID, people were not able to reach out to their dermatologist or go for their routine skincare. So all of us turned to Instagram, because that was where our entertainment was coming. So this was a very easy time when people actually picked up certain molecules. When you look at any of these molecules, be it hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, retinol, they've always been part of the dermatology pharmacy anyway. Now, these companies were picking up this one particular molecule and telling you that this does this, and it is being sold as an elixir, like a magic potion to you, saying this is going to work on this.
Got it.
So I feel that is where the boom happened. Because people were not able to see somebody physically, they thought that they could do like an online consultation and buy this off-the-counter product. When you buy an off-the-counter product, remember, it's not a drug. So it doesn't have the concentration that would probably be needed medically to give you the result. I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm not saying they're all good. But it is something which has to be prescribed. And the person who has to examine your skin, who understands how to use, which to use, what concentration to use in the morning, to use in the night, before a moisturizer, after a sunscreen. Again, it comes back to being a dermatologist or the skincare expert. So nobody has to use all the serum. Everybody doesn't need a serum. Especially teenagers, I would definitely advise your not to use serums, or not to use it without a medical prescription, because the skin is not fully developed yet. So you could end up harming your skin in the long run if you start it too early, and using too many serums at the same time, because somebody, Alia Bhatt is endorsing a serum, Deepika Padukone is endorsing some other serum, and you want to use both. So one may have retinol, one may have salicylic acid, both of them exfoliating your skin. Skin gets worse than where we started off. So I think that serums as a magic potion, again, you know that magic is just a trick, right? So sometimes serums can also be that. So you have to pick and choose what you want to use for your skin. And something which is very important is that this is your face. This is what you present to the world every day, right? You wouldn't put anything on it without researching it, right? Sometimes we look at all the contents of the foods that we eat. We are looking at MSG, does it have additives? Then when you're putting something on your face, you're just going by the number of reviews that product has. We don't know how many of them are bought reviews, right? We don't know how much money is being paid to a skinfluencer to endorse that product. And coming to skinfluencers
would have been the third thing.
Coming to a skinfluencer is somebody who's sharing their own experience. Let us look at how they are. Basically, they have got good skin. They have a good number of followers. So they were genetically probably having good skin, and they are using a few products, and they are sharing their individual experience. Suppose they have used this particular cream or this particular serum, they are sharing their individual experience about the product alone. They are not talking about what is happening generally with the product or what the product contains. They might not know chemically what that is doing. For example, if a skinfluencer is talking about, say, a retinol containing product, she may not know that it is not safe for a breastfeeding mother or a pregnant lady to use, or somebody who's planning a pregnancy to use. Or she may not know the right age for that person to start, or she may not know that it cannot be used in the periorbital or perioral areas around the eyes and the mouth. So when you follow a skinfluencer, don't follow trends blindly. Even if there is a dermatologist on Instagram giving advice, it's generic advice. It is not specific to Dr. Rasya or Mohana. It's not specific to them. It is it's just a general advice saying use a sunscreen in the morning or use a sunscreen. But if you are somebody who's working under very bright lights throughout the day, for example, or if you're working very close to a blue light source, for example, you would need to use a sunscreen even at night. You would need to use an IR filter sunscreen. So these kind of advice has to come with somebody from knowledge. So Instagram is like an ocean of 30-second information nuggets.
Which is incomplete, right?
Which is incomplete, which is not targeted only at you. But the advertisements may be targeted at you. The algorithm works that if you're looking for skincare, you're being shown skincare content, and then you might think that this is particularly good for you. Because everybody is talking about it. Everybody's talking about it because you searched for it, and Instagram is now giving you that. Right? So I feel that understanding that is going to go a long way, and I think the next generation, which lives, feeds, buys, does shops on Instagram, has a lot of wake-up calls which is going to come up to them when they start realizing the difference between the real world and the Insta world.
That's so beautifully shared, actually. And one of the intentions of our channel, specifically through these podcasts, right, is to get the credible voice out there. So that, like we just talked, right, there's too many people saying too many things, and it's very confusing. And so I'm sure this conversation is going to be valuable to me to start with, and then to definitely our listeners. So I want to come to a segment which is true or false. Just one word, okay? So I'm going to ask you some controversial or fun things, actually. So are men today coming more in numbers to get dermatology consultations and procedures?
The answer is a resounding yes. And I'm so happy to say that it is a yes. I think I started my practice 20 years back. And at that time, we didn't have so many men walking into the consultation. And even if they did, they would come with their partner or their significant other. And, the other would be telling them, can you give him a sunscreen? Can you give him a... It used to be that way, right? And I am usually reluctant to prescribe if the partner wants it. Because, Skin care, hair care is all about you, right? If you are interested, you will follow it. It's a routine. It is not a one day, one treatment thingy. But now I'm so glad to say almost 40% of my OPD is men.
Okay.
And especially when it comes to hair care, because men are very vain about their hair fall and hair related treatments. And very now the metrosexual, not young man, he wants to be well groomed for his appearances in the boardroom. So we are seeing them for laser hair reduction. I think we have to Salman Khan to thank for that with his shirtless avatar. And then we have men coming in for skin glow treatments, anti-tan. They're using their sunscreens regularly. They want to know if they can use like a particular moisturizer or sunscreen. And it's fabulous. And I'm wonderful to see that, as a dermatologist, I believe that everybody needs and deserves skincare. So I'm very happy to see that's changed.
Men have come. Okay. So are cosmetic surgeries only for the wealthy people?
When it comes to dermatology and aesthetic treatments, I think the answer is no. First of all, it's a misconception to think that a dermatology treatment, a cosmetic treatment, a cosmetic surgery is expensive. I feel that it's always something that is worth it. For example, if you could use a particular anti-aging cream, most of the anti-aging creams, let us assume, will cost you between 2,500 to 5,000 rupees a bottle. And you would use it for 6 months, right? And that would cost you about 30,000 rupees, right? So a Botox treatment would cost you that much. The cream will not do anything other than just moisturize, because it's not able to penetrate or give you the result that the Botox treatment can. So when you say expensive, when you want to look a particular way, when you want to look a particular, let me rephrase that. Our self-esteem, a lot of it comes from how we look. And to invest in that is not, you're not investing in something which is not worth it. If, for example, you had a lot of acne on your face, and you spent a lot of money on jewelry or makeup or dressing well, your skin would still not look good. You would still not look good. Instead, you spend on the medical treatment, get your acne better. It is not an expensive effort. There are some procedures which are, if you think that they are repeatedly done, they need to be repeatedly done or something, then you need to budget for it. You need to make it a priority. So how you look is an important thing. You have to make it a priority.
So the third one is, are all things that's natural ingredients always good for my skin?
So I'm going to ask you a very nice question.
You're going to like podcast me.
So a cigarette, right? A beedi is all natural, right? It's a tobacco leaf. It's rolled up, right? And you smoke it. Is it good for you?
No, it's not. It's just the form, right?
It's not just, we assume that, for example, turmeric, right, is very commonly used in the south of India. It's applied on the skin. But did you know it was a photosensitizer? That if you apply turmeric and go in the sun, it can actually make you tan more or pigment more. Same thing with henna. Henna, which you apply on your hair, is a photosensitizer. It makes your hair brittle. But because we followed it from age-old time, we believe that natural is actually healthy. Or you say aloe vera. There are people who are allergic to aloe vera. Right? And then we say, no, but we are using the original source, the plant source. Yes, but still with that, there can be reactions to everything. It doesn't mean that everything is bad, but everything has a chemical component. For example, we talk about rosemary. This rosemary water, which is the newest trend right? For hair fall, right? So what you do, you put rosemary in water and you take that rosemary infused water and wash your hair with it. So rosemary in the correct proportions, where the molecular size is small enough to enter into your scalp, is effective. But how can you make it by boiling water? Are you going to get an effective concentration of rosemary? Probably the answer is no. Okay. So we have to take these natural things with a pinch of salt.
Got it.
There are some things which are good for you. There's some things that are definitely bad for you. And if you have acne prone skin, if you have sensitive skin, If you have pigmentation prone skin, which is most of the South Indian patients, you could trigger these problems by using these natural products. If you have very normal skin, which some of us are very lucky to have, you will get away by using these products once in a while. So you may say that, but I use Multani Mitti once in 10 days and my skin shines. Yes, that's because you have normal skin. But if a person somebody with eczema or somebody tried it, and those guys are more likely to try it because they're desperate, they want a solution, they want a quick fix, they are going to be in more trouble than they were to start with. So for me, natural, something like you want to put papaya, banana, or avocado on your skin, on your hair, eat it. It's a great source of vitamin. That's where it's going to do its best work.
So true. So
just
true.
eat it.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of the the perspectives are, especially what Ayurveda and naturopathy says, is what you eat should be what you put on your skin also, because your skin is something that's breathing. So try to avoid as many chemicals as possible. So the varying thoughts around this space as well, right?
Yeah. So I am not here to tell you anything about any form of medicine or anything which is good or bad. So now what we are saying, when I hear the word chemical, water is a chemical. You and I learnt in school, it's H2O. We're drinking it, right? Air is a chemical, right? Everything is a chemical. So what you define as organic, what you define as chemical, what is defined as herbal, it's also a chemical. There is nothing like which can be like an Ayurvedic paste, which can stay without going bad if it is not got something like a preservative to make it stay in that. So I'm 100% sure it has a chemical, but I'm not here to talk about that. What I'm saying is, if you are putting something on your skin and it makes it tingle, itch, burn, go red, or increases your acne, please stop putting it. Please stop putting it. It's not going to do your skin any
That's
good.
beautiful. I think that's so valuable for people to understand, even whether something's working for me, right? It's a great observation for your own self at home that you can make.
Correct. And this includes even a serum.
Right. Absolutely.
Even including a serum, like a hyaluronic acid which you bought for a very lot of money. If it's making your skin tingle, stop using it. That's the first thing. You can't say it's tingling, it's working, and continue to use it for a long time and end up with more trouble.
Super. So I loved it. I think there's so much great stuff out there, right? As early as that, to take care of our skin. So what should we do, doctor?
So I think you should start taking care of your skin as soon as you're born, right? Because it's the largest organ. So how do you take care of your skin? When you are born, you remember that your mother used to give you an oil massage and then, bathe you in a very gentle, warm water and use a very gentle soap. So your skincare started then. So when you become aware of your skincare is when you step into your teenage, and then, you have a little bit of acne, a little bit of dandruff. That's because of the hormonal puberty changes which are happening around that age. That is when the formal dermatological consultation happens for most people, unless you had like eczema as a child and you were taken to a doctor. So at that age, what we do say is probably use a very mild salicylic acid based face wash, and then use a good gel based moisturizer, then a mineral sunscreen. Till you reach about 20, you're going to be on a mineral sunscreen. That means that you're not using anything which is chemical. What you said, chemical. Now, in my term, mineral basically means it's not reacting with the skin. It's just as a layer protecting.
And this is till you're 18.
Till you're 18 or 20. So, and at night, you would cleanse the face and then you would use the particular serum advised by the doctor. If you had more oily skin, then probably you would be given a niacinamide or a salicylic acid based serum. And if you had more dry skin, a hyaluronic acid based moisturizer or cream, or a ceramide based moisturizer or cream. When you come into your 20s, then your sunscreen may change now based on your requirement. Some of us have jobs which are mostly outside. We need a higher SPF. Some of us have lot of exposure to blue light. We need an indoor sunscreen. Some of us have jobs which are camera facing. We cannot have sunscreens which reflect light. Sometimes it makes you look gray. So you need a transparent sunscreen. Again, the skin type starts to change. If you have oily skin, Then you would use this oily skin cleanser. So let's break it down into cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen.
Yeah.
That's your morning routine.
Sure.
Cleanser, moisturizer, serum is your night routine.
Okay.
So how would you put these, layer this? Would you want to use a vitamin C because it is trending?
Yeah.
In India, tropical country, vitamin C in the morning can make you prone for tanning.
Oh wow.
So we switch it to night.
Okay.
And vitamin C can make you prone for acne. So if you're oily skin, we would avoid it altogether.
Oh my God. Okay.
And so now you have sunscreen with vitamin C, sunscreen with turmeric.
Yeah.
So how to pick and choose this is like a very difficult task for a dermatologist themselves.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing to remember is keep your skincare as simple as possible. Cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen in the morning. Cleanser, serum, moisturizer in the night.
In the night, okay.
In the night. What serum? Talk to your dermatologist.
Yeah, based on your skin type. This is really, really helpful. And I think I use serum in the morning. I had no idea. So I think it's really important to switch it around. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens, not all of us are made equal.
Yeah.
So some of us tan. For example, you use vitamin C in the morning and you don't tan when you go in the sun.
Yeah.
But when I use vitamin C, I tan a lot.
Okay.
So this difference is individual.
Got it.
You're unique, I'm unique. Right? So unless I figure out the uniqueness of your skin, even a dermatologist may get it wrong a couple of times.
Sure.
Like, because we cannot predict how your skin will react.
Yeah.
Right? We know that this serum is good. But how is your skin going to talk to that serum? We don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, for example, you may not like bisibele bath, but I might think it is the best dish in the world.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I think, this is really, really helpful.
Yeah.
And is there a difference between male skin and female skin? Potentially, it might be, right?
Yes, absolutely. Male skin has more oil glands. It is thicker. And definitely has more facial hair, more facial oil glands. We know more acne prone. But that doesn't mean that male skin is not sensitive. A lot of time, men are told it's okay, right? Your skin is not sensitive. But male skin is also prone for pigmentation. Male skin can scar very badly. We see many deep scars, right? And it has to be taken care of. Especially young boys, when they have acne and they approach their parents saying, I want to take treatment, often are told, don't take treatment, it'll go away. But it is not as simple as that. See, acne is physiological. Everybody has acne when we are teenage. But when acne tends to scar, when I say scar, it starts to leave a depression. It has to be treated early so that it doesn't become a long-term issue.
Yeah.
So, yes, I think men's skin is different. They do need a different skincare. Not a very different skincare, but definitely some good skincare so that they prevent damage. See, we have born with this skin. And we were discussing just before we started how the 40s are the new 20s, right? We are all living longer. We are going to be in jobs longer. We're going to be needing to be groomed for a little longer, right? So look at this as a grooming exercise. You want to make your skin last for a longer time, to look fresh a longer time, right? So then you have to start early.
Sure.
So a lot of the people say that you need to start your retinols early. So
this is for male skin
or women's skin, where we start retinol creams as an anti-aging treatment early. So again, retinol is something which is, a Schedule H drug. If you look at the back of the cream, it will say Schedule H drug, meaning should not be sold without a prescription of a dermatologist.
Okay.
So a lot of them now on Instagram are saying this is the best anti-aging cream, you put it on your face. But we know that it has its own set of side effects. Though it's a great cream, it has to be prescribed and it may not suit everybody. So understanding that skincare is not a very easy business. It's not it's not a game that you play.
It's very personalized.
It's very personalized. It's very unique. So you have to make an effort to go and get it checked.
And understand it.
Understand it.
I do want to bring us back to male skincare because so many people have requested me to ask this, right? The two-step method that you talked about, morning and night skincare on a daily basis. Should men do that differently?
No, I think they should do the same thing. Face wash, moisturizer, sunscreen, and face wash, serums, night cream. So, but here men prefer to probably use gel-based moisturizer, prefer to use a gel-based sunscreen. They don't like too many products. So I like to combine a sunscreen with a moisturizer so that it is only 2 steps for them, because men are not good at many step routine. So you would give them like a face wash and directly a moisturizer come sunscreen. So that is easier for them.
Right.
And women don't have big bags, so we can carry our sunscreens.
So true.
Men don't have this comfort of this. So I usually give them some stick sunscreens. Which which is actually a solid waxy thing, so which they can just swipe on their face. And though men's skincare is becoming more and more accepted, it's still some areas you still have a bias where they say, but I don't want to put the sunscreen when I'm at work. So you have 24-hour sunscreens, where 8-hour sunscreens. So give them longer lasting sunscreens. And then in the night, again, they don't like too chipku things. So we give them serums which get absorbed quickly in the skin. So, and then, give them a very small routine. So you just cleanse your face and put one serum, no more care, and then that's enough.
Interesting.
So it also depends on some people. Not all men are made equal. Like, I could be generalizing. There'll be some men who get offended saying, no, but I spend 20 minutes on my skincare. Okay, I wish you are my patient. But it's like that, right? Even we have women who don't have time for their skincare. We have men. Most of us, when we say, I don't have time for skincare, I don't have time for exercise, I don't have time for sleep, all I am hearing is, I don't prioritize myself, right? So I think that taking 2 minutes to do your skincare in the morning and 5 minutes to do your skincare at night, 5 minutes because you're taking off your makeup as well, is something that you should gift yourself.
But it really makes a difference. Once you do it for like even a month, you see the difference,
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to talk about 2 important things, and we're coming closer to the end of a beautiful conversation. I'm having a lot of fun. Oily skin and dry skin, right? What are 1 or 2 things that people can do to take care of their skin?
Okay. So when I say oily skin, dry skin, we are talking face versus body. Right? So sometimes people have an oily face but may have dry skin on the body. They may have dry face and dry skin on the body. Usually the oil glands in the body are located in the face and on the chest and back. That's where we get maximum acne, right? And then on the rest of the body, usually it is very dry. Okay, so when in Bangalore, especially where we are having this podcast, we have a very dry climate. Most of us have dry skin. And you have to remember, the skin is very dynamic. You may have oily skin in summers and dry skin in the winters on the face. You may have oily skin on a hot day and dry skin in the evening, because Bangalore goes from hot to cold in a single day. And as you get older, like you may have had oily skin when you were a teenager, it may have changed to dry skin. So remember that the dynamism is there. So what I'm saying will hold at that particular point in time when you are having oily skin. So for the body, especially for dry skin, use a lot of gentle soaps which are pH balanced. Don't use very hot water or cold water to wash. That's face and body. And you don't use loofahs and scrubs that will make the skin more dry. Use a thick moisturizer which has ceramides, hyaluronic acid, omega-3 fatty acids and slather it on. Use it 2-3 times a day. And then cover up, so that the skin is not being exposed. You cannot put all the moisturizer and then wear shorts and the skin will go dry again. And the most important, make sure you're eating a lot of essential fatty acid foods, which like flax seeds, almonds, fish in your diet to bring back the moisture to the skin. For oily skin, it's usually confined to the face, neck and chest back areas. You can use like a slightly stronger salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide containing face wash or body wash, and then use gel-based moisturizer. Don't skip the moisturizer. People with oily skin, what they do, they think my skin's oily, let me skip the moisturizer. When you skip the moisturizer, the oil glands think, oh, the skin is dry. Let me make some oil. The skin is trying to be helpful.
So it gets more oily.
It gets a rebound oiliness. So you just put the water-based moisturizer. You will prevent the skin becoming more oily.
It's so psychological though. A lot of people they do not moisturize because they assume.
They assume. But when you strip your skin of oil, you're stripping the natural protective layer. So you are making the elements age it faster. So you have to remember that this is something that we are also learning over a period of time. So if you look 20 years ago, then my prescription would have been very different from how it is today. Right? So just like how we used to take notes on paper, and now we take notes on our phone or on our message, or we leave a voice note. It is completely changed. So the way we approach skincare has changed. The way I feel is that the skin is the most, by the way, also the largest organ in the body, and does lots more than just look good. So we have to take good care of it. And putting your skin care first is very important.
No, that's beautiful. And thank you for so many different things that I had no idea about. A lot of things that I'm actually making, mistakes on, I would say, right? And it's so good to understand. My last thing in this segment is adult pimples or adult acne. Now, what should people do about that?
So actually, we used to think that acne was a teenage condition. Because it was because of the hormonal changes of puberty. But because of the changing lifestyle, acne has become it's become a chronic condition. So we have acne at 30, 40, 50, because continuously the pollution, the lifestyle, the stress, eating high glycemic acid content foods, sedentary lifestyle, not sleeping on time has changed the way the skin is reacting. So we are getting acne even after adulthood. Adult acne is almost always resistant to treatment with topical creams, because the topical cream, this acne is not because of the clogging of the pores. It's more deep-seated than that. So it needs internal evaluation to rule out hormonal issues, correction of lifestyle, correction of stress-related habits, and probably some oral medications, oral retinoids actually, under the prescription of a dermatologist to clear it out. Adult acne, unfortunately, also tends to scar. And because it's more deep-seated, it's going through the skin, it tends to leave a depressed scar. So treat it early and check all the lifestyle factors, see if you can adjust them, what we spoke about in this whole segment. And then if you feel it's still not working, then please see a dermatologist.
And get a good doctor who can advise you, right? It sounds very complex, so it's not something that you can just solve with one thing. So,
yes. I think that I wish every problem in life could be solved with one thing. It's like those Instagram reels, right? Where they make food, right? They do like this, in 2 minutes the food is ready.
Only we know what happens in the kitchen.
And I just look at them and I feel skincare is like that, right? When you take care of your skin, it's like that. It looks like that. But the journey is very complex. Just I think anybody who's making an effort, right? Whether it is fitness, whether it is doing something like what you're doing, right? There is an elaborate setup behind the scene. What people are seeing is just the two of us. It's a big setup behind us. Whether it is skincare, whatever it is, there is a lot going on. But what is being shown is only the 30-second clip. So let not anybody believe that skincare is 30 seconds. It's not.
So my last few questions for this, to bring us to a meaningful closure is, if you were personally to choose one beauty product, one type, not a name or anything, one type of beauty product, what would it be? For me, basically, it's kajal. I can't think of my life without wearing kajal, right? It's literally like, I wonder when I get much older, how will I manage without it, right? So what is it for you?
Why do you have to manage without it? I think you would always use kajal. I think people always highlight what they feel is the most beautiful part of themselves, right? So it is how they want to emphasize. Look at my eyes is what Mohana is telling me. So I would say that for me, again, it would be my eyes and my eyebrows, because I feel that they convey a lot of expression and meaning in an unspoken way, right? So I feel that that is what I would highlight. So kajal for me as well.
So that we have something in common, right?
Yes.
And I want to conclude, Dr. Rasya, with what do your patients feel, right, when they come see you? when they see the change? What are the emotions that people associate with skin at the end of the day?
Okay. So I want to tell about this study which talked about melasma. I don't think you know melasma is a facial pigmentation which is very common in India, especially because the brownish patches on the skin. We call it chai, bangu, mangu in the regional languages.
Okay.
And when they saw the quality of life, when you do dermatology quality of life index, right, where you're talking about a skin condition causing a quality of life problem, right, they found that it was as bad as having a severe skin disease or as having a severe depression. So imagine that a skin condition make you feel so bad. So I have patients who say, doctor, I wish I had diabetes instead, because then nobody would be able to see it, isn't it? Where, the melasma is visible to everybody, and everybody asks me, why do you have this? So we cannot just say that there is a skin condition, right? So there's a tremendous amount of psychological distress that a person experiences, which I'm sure you have experienced when you get that acne on your big date, right? Or you get that it's very frustrating,
Traumatic,
very hair fall, for example, in women, very traumatizing. So you cannot trivialize dermatology to the fact that it is, and it is cannot be, because it's also a reflection of internal health. So a lot of times we spend a lot of time educating our patient about what is going on, why is what is happening, how long it's going to take, because these are all long term treatments. I cannot magically will away your age to disappear, right?
Absolutely.
If you have come with a wrinkle, it's not going to, I'm going to make it go away for some time, but it is going to come back because you're getting older the next year, or I'm getting older the next year. So it is going to happen that way. But how can we look and be the best versions of ourselves at whatever age we are? So I call this pro-aging versus anti-aging. Calling it pro-aging. Look the best version of yourself. How would you be? Would you want to be fit? Would you want to be healthy? Would you want to look happy? Would you want to dress a certain way? So all these are choices. And to say that, to do a cosmetic treatment is, you cannot, just like the way you would say it is not appropriate to say you should not do this treatment, or it's not being ageist, right? Let us be understanding that everybody has a choice to look a certain way. So, and a lot of self-esteem and confidence comes from how you're feeling, how you're looking, how you're dressing. So we cannot take away that from that person. So if it is about that confidence, and if I can give it back, I think, and if my patient goes back feeling more empowered, more confident, whether he is a man, whether she's a woman, whether it is a adolescent, whether they know that they have a friend, they have a person they can trust, they have somebody who has the means to help them, then they feel much more confident. And that's what we are trying to do at the clinic. And that's what is the cosmetic dermatology industry all about, where we are trying to give you back not your youth, but your confidence.
That's so beautiful. I loved it. And I think I've really personally learned a lot today, right? For me, I think the main takeaway has been, how do you balance it daily? How do you start early? And how do you sort of also, it's okay to go to a doctor. A lot of times you think you just need to, you can't, it's an issue, but it's not. Sometimes it's a lifestyle that you want to adopt. Similar to what is going on today in the world, that people are looking at therapy as part of just their lifestyle. It's okay to talk to someone, So that way we're overcoming a lot of these taboos, so-called taboos in our own country to start with. So thank you for all the advice, Dr. Rasya. I had a beautiful time with you, and I've learned so much. And I hope you come back, and keep educating us throughout.
Thanks
for spending time.
Thank you so much for having me, Mona, and thank you for your whole team for being so supportive over here. And I think I've had a lot of fun talking to you, because it's always fun to talk to the audience and connect to people, because you know that there is someone there hearing what we are talking about, and they will probably resonate with what we are saying and feel more empowered and confident. Thank you
For
having me.
sure. Skin is so important. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.